To more breaking news this morning. China responding to President Trump's new 10% tariff on all Chinese imports with new tariffs on U.S. goods.
It comes as new agreements with Mexico and Canada have put a possible trade war with our North American neighbors on pause for now. Let's go to Christina Fan live outside the Chinese consulate in Hell's Kitchen. Christina.
Chris and Mary, good morning. Overnight, just as those tariffs on Chinese goods went into effect, Beijing responded with a series of retaliatory countermeasures of its own, affecting a variety of U.S. products. Those include a 15% tariff on coal and liquefied natural gas products, and a 10% tariff on crude oil, farm equipment, and large engine cars imported from the U.S. The Chinese government says it also implemented restrictions on the export of certain critical minerals which are used in the production of high-tech products essential to U.S. economic or national security. Economists say if this tit-for-tat continues, it could result in lower GDP growth everywhere and higher U.S. inflation. The escalation between the U.S. and China comes after Trump struck a last-minute deal with Canada and Mexico, putting a 30-day pause on those tariffs after Mexico agreed to send 10,000 troops to the southern border, and Canada agreed to naming a fentanyl czar and list Mexican cartels as terrorist groups. Trump says he plans to speak with China's President Xi Jinping in the coming days before China's tariffs on U.S. goods are set to take effect next Monday. Reporting live from Hell's Kitchen, Christina Fan, CBS News, New York.
Christina, thank you. 505 Attorney General Letitia James now warning hospitals who refuse to provide care for transgender youth. They would be violating New York state law. Hundreds rallied in Manhattan Monday calling for protections for trans people. Demonstrators called out NYU Langone after reports the hospital canceled appointments for two 12-year-old trans patients. Last week, President Donald Trump signed an executive order aimed at cutting federal support for certain types of gender-affirming care for people under 19 years of age. As many as 25 states have laws preventing gender-affirming care for those 18 and under. The JAMA Network reports gender-affirming surgery for minors over the age of 12 is extremely rare.
Well, the Trump administration also wants to dismantle the U.S. Agency for International Development, which provides humanitarian aid and foreign assistance. Democratic lawmakers joined staffers outside USAID headquarters in Washington as they were blocked from even entering their offices. The administration wants to shutter the agency and merge it into the State Department.
Completely unresponsive agency. It's supposed to respond to policy directives of the State Department, and it refuses to do so.
I talked to the security guard just in there. He said he has been given specific orders to prevent employees of USAID from entering the building today. And I just find that to be absolutely ridiculous.
Democratic lawmakers say any changes to the agency must be approved by Congress.
Today, President Trump will meet at the White House with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. It will be Trump's first meeting with a foreign leader since his second term began. Trump and Netanyahu will then hold a joint news conference. Netanyahu's visit to Washington comes as a fragile ceasefire remains in effect between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. On Monday, President Trump told reporters, quote, "I have no guarantees that the peace is going to hold."
All across the country Monday, businesses were closed in solidarity with families who feared deportation. Port Richmond Ave on Staten Island was a ghost town. We found one family taking the bus after a mariachi taxi company told them they were closed. Cafe Compound, which serves Mexican dishes and pastries, was one of the dozens of businesses who shuttered for a day without immigrants. Co-owner Scotty Lopez said his family, originally from Mexico, closed all three locations.
These trying times, I feel like you can feel very isolated. You can feel like no one's there to support you and no one's there to help you.
You could see that if a business is not open, that the economy here on Staten Island will have a downfall.
Under the Trump administration, Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement says if you're undocumented and you haven't filed for asylum, you are subject to deportation. The director of the field office in Newark says its main mission is and always has been to identify, arrest, and deport undocumented violent criminals. Stay with CBS News New York for continuing coverage of the Trump administration. For a look at the president's actions so far, including executive orders signed and confirmed cabinet members, head to CBSNewYork.com.